Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is a T92 HMC. It's the Tier 10's American SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka, and this one is under the command of Steel Mike. And we're featuring a series of videos with Steel Mike over the next couple of days. Game on! Okay, where's he going to go? Well, he hasn't moved. But he might be loading any second. It's got a reload time of 41.34 seconds. It's very, very long indeed. Yep. And yep, he's still not moved. Probably not loaded into the game, that's why. His teammate in the other T92 HMC has actually moved. And there's some fruity language in chat already. I think, yes, some of the teammates expressing themselves as if they're 4-year-olds. Okay, he's loaded, and he is in the game now. Guns up. This is the biggest gun in the game. 24 centimeters is the caliber. It really is absolutely massive. They only made 5 of these. They were very expensive to make. Oh, now that was good. 367 hit points, but he did come out of RT view before we got to see the impact. So we don't know what actually precisely happened to that shell, and as I've said to other players, you don't want to do that, because if you do that, it actually takes away the enjoyment of watching an RT battle. The thing is that you want to see the damage is done, and if you are worried about counter battery, you should use your W key whilst you're in the RT view and move forwards, because you move faster forwards than you do backwards. And if you use the W key, you'll move away from your firing position very quickly, and you will still be able to watch the fall of shot. Now he's aiming directly behind the T110, and again we don't get to see what happened, but it looks like the shell landed behind the T110E3 because he got tracked just as he was pulling back. Again, I can't stress it highly enough. You need to watch what happens to your shell. And the reason for that, primarily, is not just that it's boring to watch a battle where you pull the trigger, watch the shell depart your gun, and then all you see next is the vehicle moving and a result come up saying how much damage you did. The thing is, you aren't going to miss out on if you get a blind hit on something. He might have actually hit somebody else with that last shot if there was an explosion. Or no explosion rather, but he did get some damage on the tank he aimed at. So you see, he might have missed out the fact that he got 2 tanks damage. Well, he's aiming for 2 tanks here at the moment. IS-7 and the 113. He goes for the 113 and again he pulls away. And we see that he damages the 113, but did he damage the IS-7? Did the shell hit the IS-7? We don't know, because he pulled away. And he's run into the other T92 HMC now. He's having to navigate around him. He needs to get over onto the far west side of the map because the enemy are pushing. Trouble is, there are EBRs in this game, and that means that he stands a very good chance of getting wiped out by an enemy light tank who can spot him from a long way away. So he's actually headed over to the far west side of the map in this little dip here. And he's now turning to face the enemy on the east side of the map. Or is he going up north? Oh, he's aiming. Oh, now I just saw the tracer from one of the enemy Arty up there in the north. I think he missed it. I definitely saw that tracer. And he's now aiming for the Leopard 1 and the 113. Lining up a shot on the Leopard 1 first. Mark the target. He fires between them. And this time round he does stay in RT view and he watches a Bombardier. He took out 2 tanks with 1 shot, the 113 and the Leopard 1. And he would only have known that as well. It would have been very boring if he'd actually pulled back and all he'd seen was his vehicle, and then the notification came up he got 2 kills. You actually want to see 2 tanks wiped out with 1 shot. It's actually quite interesting. But we've lost sight of all the enemy tanks over there because we've got no lights or no mediums spotting over there. And the team is now being compressed into the southwest corner of the map. They're 2 tanks down, and it does look like the enemy's going to win this one. Rounds out the Centurion Action 10. He's got some splash on that guy. And he's got some follow-up damage. I think there was some stun assist. No, it's not saying stun assist, actually. He's now aiming over the other side. But that T100 LT and the enemy team, the EBR, are getting very, very, very close. And he's very likely to be spotted anytime soon. And if his sixth sense goes off, he needs to motor because the enemy RT are going to be on him like a shot. GWE100 and T92 HMC. And thankfully the EBR 105 gets nuked. He was taken out of the game by an Object 268 and the T100 LT was taken out by another one. We're now dialing in on the IS-7 coming towards us. Almost ready. Rounds out. Yeah, he stayed to watch on that one. Well, mainly because there's nowhere he can go now. We've lost sight of the target because nobody's spotting. They're over a ridgeline and there's plenty of bushes between them and the target. So we don't know where he is now. But that IS-7 is bound still to be there. Wizzy 1321, a light tank coming up. I think he's probably going to sit behind... No, he's not sitting behind the wreck. And here's the IS-7. He's kept moving. And there he goes. He's taken out by a Death Star. The FV215B183. Now we're almost loaded, going for the Wizzy 132, but we lose sight of him because the 268 pulls back, and here he comes. And we have been speen, and yes, he gets a lovely hit there. 1,266 hit points. It's only recording as 481, and he is all alone now, so there's absolutely no chance of him winning that game. And the Wizzy 132 puts a round into him. And the GWE100 finishes him off. So, 3,045 hit points of damage recorded, and of course the Bombardier. And let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, the Bombardier was all he got. He didn't even get a tank classification in that game because he didn't get to put out enough damage to get classified. He did get a bruiser medal as well for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He got 8. And his win rate for the game was 3,055, which is very good. It's Unicum standard, or Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at team score and see where he came. Well, the highest damage in the game was actually done by the M48 Patton on the enemy team. He managed to get 4,026 hit points of damage. The next high scorer was the Object 268 on... it was the Object 268 on the enemy team. 3,135 hit points to him, and then it's R268 with 3,121, so not far behind. And then we got Steel Mike with 3,045. So he was fairly high. He was in the top 4. And when it came to kills, it was a jointly between the Object 268 on his team and the GWE100 on the enemy team. Both had 3 kills. Of course, Steel Mike was one of those kills for the GWE. And when it came to Steel Mike, he got 2 kills along with the Death Star on his team. And there was 4 members of the enemy team got 2 kills: the Patton, the Leopard, the T100 LT, and their Jaegeru. When it came to base XP, it's the enemy team that comes off best here. They were the winners. They got 991 for the EBR 105, probably because he did a lot of spotting, and we can just check that. Yes, 9,288 hit points of damage. He got a patrol duty and a scout medal because he wasn't afraid to go into enemy territory, find out where the players were, and then allow his teammates to actually get some damage on them. So yes, he did do his job properly. The next high scorer was the Wizzy 1321, got 890 base XP, and of course he was the guy who actually shot Steel Mike just before the end. He got 3,077 hit points of spotting assist in that game, but no medals. And the next high score after that was the GWE100 with 708. Steel Mike managed to get 361, which is not bad. He's third from the top in his own team, but way down on the list of the enemy team. In fact, every enemy tank managed to get more than he did in base XP, and I think that's basically down to the fact that Steel Mike's team were crap. They were a bunch of muppets, and he was the only survivor right to the end, and then got taken out by the Arty. So yes, unfortunately this was a loss, but he did get a Bombardier out of it, and that's nice, especially if it's a tier 10 tank, tier 10 Arty. And well, at least we can congratulate him on that Bombardier, even if the rest of the team were terrible. But I must say to Steel Mike, don't come out of Arty view before you've seen what happens to the shell. It's interesting to other Arty players to see what actually happened and to find out if you did get any blind shots on the enemy. Because if you do come out of blind shot, you know what I've said to other players? We won't feature replays from players who keep sending in replays where you keep looking away, and eventually we just won't feature your replays at all regardless, simply because there's no point in wasting time generating a video which is just going to be boring for other players. They'll downvote the video simply because they don't get to see what they want to see. So there you go, Steel Mike. Wasn't a great battle. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. Stay on target and watch what happens. Maybe that will correct in the next couple of videos. Let's hope so. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.